that note, right? If you now say, what are they doing about the kidnappers? Oh, in this country, Baba, we just say, thank God. God go catch them. About police officer fit tell you, say, oh, no waste your time about anything. But we just thank God, say they don't release you. There are some people who will say they pay ransom, they don't release them. You should be grateful. Forget about these things, Jerry. Those people are too connected. And just like that, since we have given God the glory, maybe you can protect us from them again. Sure, you understand? So I'm not disputing your God, okay? I'm just saying how people have decided to sort of like, or how people have enabled abnormalities in such a way that they are victims of this rotten system, that they have given up hope on it, of it ever working for them. They don't even understand what it means for a system to work for them. But their own closure, typical closure for, closure for the typical Nigerian is, oh, God see everything. The moment you hear a Nigerian say, oh, God see everything, that moment, they have no other thought of over that matter anymore. Do you understand? They are no longer interested in that matter anymore. And that is one of, the reasons why these criminal politicians in that contraption can never imagine their luck. Your religion is yours, but you have been manipulated systemically over time, and subconsciously, a lot of you have, you've enabled it. People were kidnapped. 25 million naira was paid as ransom. Oh, thank God they've released them. Fine. So what happened to them now? What happened to them? Instead of us to be thanking God, they will go to church and thank God. And what about the woman that they killed? Well, maybe not so God one time. That's not right. That's what I'm saying. It is not right. I'm also not kind of blaming you, though. I'm not blaming you 100%. Or I can't blame you, by the way, because it is what you enabled, right? That became the norm. That became, the system that you practice. That became the system that is haunting you. That is not right. You get what I mean? God is not going to arrest any terrorist. In fact, Nigeria is a very funny place, right? Despite all these killings, all these atrocities, if somebody walks into any church, I don't know about mosque, so I'm going to use church. If he walks straight into a church and says, and they start their praise and worship, holy, holy, then somehow something will touch him. And then this person will walk straight to the, to the stage and be like, so what happened? I just encountered God. They say, who are you? I'm a Fulani, I'm a terrorist, I'm a kidnapper, I've killed a lot of people, I've kidnapped a lot of people, but God just touched me. Everybody will scream, praise God. Oh my God, this terrorist, God just touched this terrorist. Oh, that moment, anything about his crime, everything about his crime is totally irrelevant. In fact, you may see somebody who had been kidnapped before, paid ransom, nearly killed in the gathering, and they will tell you that since this terrorist has repented, forget about it, Jare, leave that one. God is the only person that can judge everybody. I am saying all of this right now, not to get you mad. And if you ever get mad watching or listening to this, that is not on me. Don't start defending that your God here, okay? So the point is not to actually downplay the influence of God as you believe it. No, I am actually pointing out the manipulation of this your faith, in a faith that they call it your faith, of this belief in this God, whether Muslim or Christian, that somehow you have been manipulated to believe that once criminals confesses that they are close to God, whatever they have done can be forgiven. You can't run a society like that. You get me now? You can't run a society like that. So it will continue to haunt us, kill us, and do all this to us. You know? A non-working system. What are you going to say about this? Oworonchoki police station. What will you say about this? A system put together like this, what are you going to say? Do you think somehow, people who work in this environment, they can create, they can be a better product that will keep the society safe? I'll show you first before I come and tell you what I want to tell you. Oworonchoki police station, Lagos State. So now you may be wondering and say, bad now, my Gundaka. Okay. I'll leave you to it. So, if policemen comes from that place to come and all goes into the society, do you think people who work in that environment will be mentally normal to actually communicate with people normally? There are many, many places like that where they are breeding animals. They now give them guns. Aha, Baba. So when that police officer kills someone, extorts someone, and the others escape, you hear, just sit down, JJ. I was still thinking about my life. And the next like this, Baba, Jack Jack just fell down beside me. Stray bullet Jack sha. They say one drunk police officer, and one drunk officer shot the gun. He fired the shot. Oh, Baba, they say conductor no give her 50 naira. That is why he fired the shot. Oh, Jack, they my side. Oh, Jack don't die. Jack don't die. Nigeria don't happen to Jack. When you go and check and take a look at where these criminals are from, you realize that now mentally deranged people, systemically breeded, groomed people who are mentally deranged are those they give this black cloth and guns to in a system that you are expected to be protected by God. So this person may now go and say, you Mayegun, God save you. Imagine if to say now you that bullet eat. Mayegun, you don't die without to. Jack. People don't go too worry about Jack that much. But you, Mayegun, say na my side, Baba, na my side. Baba, you need to go to church, oh. You need to go and do Thanksgiving, oh. Hey, that's so people they die these days, so this country. You see the chain of reaction. So you have criminals as your leaders who are investing so much in politics, power, never to put a system together that protects everyone. And nobody is safe. You don't even have to do anything to become a victim of a system like this. Now let us go back to politics. Yesterday, Sarakonda, the Saraki, he was at a meeting. He is currently maybe one of them or the leader of their reconciliation team of PDP. So to them, they are doing everything to at least put their party together, even though they believe that APC, Egbekegbe, has been poaching them, picking up and threatening their members who could have been their strong base and all that. So now they are doing everything to bring back those old, they are now very old guys. Those ones who were in their that 1999, 2003, 2007, 2011. In fact, the last 16 years of the PDP in power. Sarakonda, who is one of those who brought Bokwari and APC to power in Nigeria, lost out at the early stage of Bokwari's reign. Then he went back to PDP. Since then, he's been off and on. Now, Sarakonda, at their stakeholders, leadership stakeholders meeting something, reminisce on their 16 years, their inglorious 16 years. Something some of them look back to today and be like, well, we made mistake. Oh. The 16 years that they used in kicking themselves out of power and bringing in APC, Egbe is now looking more or less like better, far better than what they have now helped impose on Nigerians. So they want to change that rather too late, I would say. Omo, go listen. I'm still coming back to that Gushi Martina, the APC chairman. We're coming back to that. And I actually will have more for you on that political side of political front. So like the broadcast, if you haven't liked the broadcaster yet, okay, subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't. Then let's hear what Sarakonda said yesterday and what went down today in their Wadata house, Abuja. Saraki?
It gives me great joy to have the opportunity to forward a goodwill message on this very useful conference that has been organized by our founding fathers, led by Professor Jenega, and all those that have come together to make today possible. I think it was Victor Hugo who said that nothing like an ideal time has come. This meeting has come at the right time, and that's why I thank you all for organizing it. Because it is time for us to write our own story. It is time for us to provide direction for this great party. For many, they have already buried this party before now. But your presence here speaks volumes that no, nobody is going to bury this party. We are going to work with this party. I say that because if we look at our country today, PDP still provides the best platform to develop Nigeria, to unite Nigeria, to make Nigeria prosperous. Nobody can challenge that because we have done it. For 16 years in power, as the Professor Gana said, we made significant progress in this country. We took the country to the largest economy in Africa. Today it's just the fourth largest. We had double-digit GDP growth that has never been achieved. We had security, and most importantly, we had unity. The country was united. It wasn't about North, neither was it about South. It was about one Nigeria. This was only done under this great party. Yes, the party will have its challenges and is having its challenges. But the question we should ask ourselves is that should we abandon this party because of these challenges? Yes, mistakes have been made in the past. But the question still is, should we abandon this party? I stand here as someone who has experienced being in this party and not being in this party. I stand here as somebody who left this party in anger. Anger does not provide purpose to leadership. A lot of people are leaving the party now and living with anger. We must live, if you have to live, based on ideology, based on plans, based on a plan for Nigeria, not on anger. Yes, we have problems. But the other parties that we're talking about also have problems. The other parties, especially the ruling party today, has already spent almost 12 years in government. Does their record any better than PDP? Of course not. So what are they offering Nigerians that PDP cannot offer? Ladies and gentlemen, when we go to our states, and I'm sure a lot of you will realize in your states, the party is still well accepted at the grassroots level. It is not that the Nigerians have rejected the party. I speak for my state. When I go, what do they tell me? Sir, please take care of what is happening at the top. The grassroots here were okay. Their concern is what is happening here in Abuja. So what does that tell us? We, including me, you, we are the problem. Sure. We must agree to put the people back at home first and put Nigeria first. Yes, we will have differences. We've been having differences. But we must agree that whatever it takes, we must sit down, lock ourselves up, and find a solution. Early May, people said, no, we cannot move forward. We cannot have and obey what we felt was the view of the law and restore Tamayawa. Because when he gets there, he will lock the office, no meeting will take place. But we have NEC tomorrow. Where I'm saying that don't let this propaganda divide us. Whatever those difficulties are, we have the capacity, the sagacity to resolve those problems. I want to appeal to us because we are the solution to this party. And if we make our mind that this is a party that will make it work, I am confident it can work. 16 years speaks a lot. We have all heard that the likes of Jerry Ganya, Alex Okweme, and Co. build this party and bequeathed it on us. It cannot be under our time, in our generation. God forbid that this party will go down. Because history will not be fair to any of us. Let me tell all of us that are here, history will not be fair to any of us. If it's under our time, God forbid, this party goes down. So we don't have an alternative. Let it be seen that we gave it all it took. We did our best to rescue this party. Not to
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè.
It can either be any of them. Sarakonda, what exactly would you say Egbere Jolantan did that got Sarakonda to follow Atiku in 2014 to go and start APC, Egbekegbe? Like, what exactly was their motivation at the time? Today, Atiku has now left that PDP again for another coalition called ADC, while Sarakonda and others are waiting behind to make sure that the PDP doesn't die. Mind you, Wike is still there. Just go into their garden and say, what are you going to do about Wike? Then you begin to hear some, some thesis, like somebody's going to write thesis on it and tell you why they can't do that now and all that. Because Wike has a court injunction that can't get them to get rid of him. Because they are all the same. Wike said he's doing exactly what Atiku and people like Sarakonda did in 2014. Just that in a reverse kind of a way now. Because he is not doing it to remove sitting president of his party. He's actually doing everything to make sure that his party never has any presidential candidate or any president at all anymore. Something like, Anyway, they all gathered today. They are once upon a time threatened to be demolished national headquarters, PDP's Wadata House in Abuja, where again it was like, okay, you know what, we need to now possibly convene our national convention, maybe then elect the proper party executives, since Wike has used court cases to finish the existing or the past executive and the current acting executives, right? So maybe if they go on and do their new convention, they can choose their new guys, and they can possibly stand the chance of facing Kolu in 2027. That one is a different conversation though. But yeah,